Chrétien's comment to a Quebec newspaper. He says some protesters have a serious message. As for others, Chrétien told Le Devoir, they say to themselves, let's go spend the weekend in Quebec City. We'll have fun, we'll protest, and blah, blah, blah.
These are not young kids, and what do they know anyhow? They're young men and women who know damn well why they're going to Quebec and are very articulate in explaining that, and they're right. I just hope that what we're doing in protesting can wake the average citizen up so that those people, and in some cases our parliamentarians, can come to know as much about what's going on as all these young protesters do. Because that's the amazing revelation that I've had. They do know what they're doing.
When we look at globalization, it's about on one hand breaking down these national barriers, but it's also about assimilating the entire world into one global economic system ruled by the transnational corporations. And then when we look at colonialism within the domestic situation within Canada, that of course has always been the policy of the Canadian government, is the assimilation of the Indigenous peoples.
It's about peace and love and truth. It's about peace and love and truth. It's about peace and love and truth.
We're talking about between 6,000 and 6,700 police officers. The police officers are well trained in what they're doing, and and their our main concern is to protect. Nobody wants to see any violence.
The police instigate the violence. The police instigate the violence.
Okay, police shoot.
Holy shit, man! Is that from tear gas or what?
Yeah, and with no thing about other.
Yeah.
Just
no warning, eh?
no warning about
one of these. Holy shit! It's like a rubber bullet or something.
No, I'm hurt, but
yeah.
What I can do?
Well, I mean, should like see a medic. You might have a fractured rib or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but there were some fractures from the plastic bullets. I understand. Which is just, it's a shame upon our nation as far as I'm concerned, and I'm hoping there's going to be huge fallout over that.
Yeah, well, they basically declared war on us when they started taking our rights away. So they're looking at the new generation, I guess. Like, they created us, so I guess they're going to have to deal with us. I mean, if they don't want us to take part in the system, then obviously we won't. We'll just have to create our own system.
I pose capitalism in itself as being individualistic and as being counter to the beauty of what I think our inherent purpose is to be on the earth, which is to share and live more cooperatively and to promote culture, promote sort of creation and, building a better earth.
I think it's plausible, if not probable, that the FTAA agreement will involve clauses similar to those that are outlined in NAFTA, including the suing of the ability of corporations to sue governments, basically negating the entire process of democracy. If corporations can sue governments for doing that which the people wish them to do, then what the hell is the point in voting in the first place?
I think this is just an incredible injustice being laid down upon people that don't want it, and I mean millions of people across the entire continent that don't want it, and it's going to affect the entire world in ways that I feel are disadvantageous for the majority of people, and only benefit a very small group of corporate leaders. And I say fuck that.
Some people want to really make some problem and make some trouble and use different device to try to, like you say, it's always a small group of person. Usually it's not the majority. And we're full aware of all that, and we cross our finger. Hopefully everybody will be going back safely, and the protester will be able to pass their message, and you know, hopefully everything's gonna go well.
I guess I'm asking is that the press not concentrate on what is going out there, because if you look around, the majority of the people that are here in Quebec City are not up there throwing stuff and breaking down the fence. We're standing here, we're peaceful protesting, and our presence in Quebec, even though we're not doing anything violent or loud or whatever, it's our presence. We're trying to say no to something. That's also an event, and I just wish that this sort of stuff got covered on TV as well, because that's sensational and that's going to sell, but the real heart of the protest is right here, all around you. People that have come from all over the place, all over the world, well, all over the hemisphere anyway, to be here and to say something.
We have to look at sustainability first. This is bullshit. Looking at money first. There's a big jump. Money's just a theory. You have to keep relating it back to back to the earth to see if it actually works.
We have been polarized and to think politically in terms of you're either right or you're left, you're either a socialist / communist or you're a capitalist. There's absolutely nothing in between. Well, that's nonsense. There's all kinds of opportunities that if we had a political imagination, we could be investigating. And these young people represent a chance to do a lot of that investigation because their minds are open to it.
Here to protest the expansion of the North American Free Trade Agreement, right? Yeah! Raise your hand if you're against the FTAA! Yeah! Corporate power over people power! Raise your hand if you want to see people put before profit! Yeah! Raise your hand if you want to see an evaluation of the environmental effects before a non-economic. And what about the effects on workers? Alright, we're here to tell people across this hemisphere that we will not put up with corporate power and we will not put up with the degradation of our living and environmental standards. Alright, so what I propose is that we as a group start marching that way to spread the good news. Who's with me? Alright, follow me this way.
Let's go spend the weekend in Quebec City. We'll have fun. We'll protest. Blah, blah, blah.
They basically declared war on us when they started taking our rights away.
I say fuck that.
They basically declared war on us when they started taking our rights away.
I say fuck that.
They basically declared war on us when they started taking our rights away.
Fuck that.
What the hell is the point in voting in the first place?
Yeah, they basically declared war on us when they started taking our rights away.
What the hell is the point in voting in the first place?
This is the best news of all. On TV, we have found out that the summit has been delayed!
What the hell is the point in voting in the first place?
Not to protect us from them. No.
Well, if you cross the street and you don't watch where you go, you might get hit by a car.
I was arrested. Then I was just sitting down, and then they just dragged me about 20 feet on the floor, and they just threw me face down. Then about, I don't know, 5 or 6 cops jumped on me, on my back. They were searching me. One of them grabbed my balls and just squeezed and 3 times one of them repeated that I was lucky there was so many cameras around because they would have beaten me up.
They won a democracy clause this weekend. Isn't that great? The Summit of the Americas. They have constructed a democracy clause. Ta-da! There it is. No dictatorships will be part of the FTAA. What is Canada?
Here there's about 50.
Macho man. They've got to be the macho man. Macho man. They've got to be the macho man.
You not panic? I know I jumped a little bit. Attention, law enforcement personnel. Just a reminder, the use of chemical weapons is a violation of the Geneva Convention.
What's happening is they're using chemical, holy fuck, that's terrible. They're using chemical weapons on us, which is against the agreements that were made at the Geneva Convention, but I have to put this back on.
Yeah. I can hear you through it. You just have to speak louder.
Holy shit. I don't know. How are you doing it, man?
I've been putting up with it all day. I'm getting immune to it.
You're crazy. I have my mask off for 2 seconds and it stings like mad. I can still feel it on my tongue.
12 or shotgun or I can't read the rest of it. Do not throw or fire directly at persons or serious death or serious injury. So.
No dictatorships will be part of the FTAA.
A cop like on top of me, pushing me to the ground violently with his stick, and people all around me were getting, you know, attacked and jumped on by cops. So they just kind of rounded us up. It took about 45 minutes or something before they pulled us off to the side where there were waiting buses and they were getting our information, our name and that sort of thing. And literally just as we had walked away and we were kind of standing off to the side where all the kind of behind the scenes where all the cops were, you know, shooting the shit and drinking coffee and taking pictures of each other in their riot gear. And there was also, you know, lots of troops back there standing in formation waiting to move forward. Which was, you know, just 10 minutes after we had been attacked by all these cops. Literally, immediately after the cops retreated with us, the people that they had arrested, thousands of activists came in right behind them and were just walking up to the cop lines.
After that day of doing med support in like these crazy hot zones where people are just throwing gas canisters at each other and incredibly violent areas, and after that, after being harassed by those cops and getting them chased by a van of police, that night I had nightmares of like cops coming at me with batons and, you know, tear gas canisters exploding and things, and like just I couldn't sleep, like kept waking up scared and with nightmares. So I'm feeling a bit better about it now. As far as aftermath, it's a bit surreal looking at the city and seeing life going back to normal and things after all that has taken place.
they say this is democracy, they're wrong, they're wrong. We say this is hypocrisy, we're right, we're right. Democracy, hypocrisy, it's all a fucking fallacy, and we all go marching down around the wall again.
Well, some small number were confronting the police, but it was generally a non-violent form of civil disobedience. Well, that's true. But even those who were especially aggressive, they were not confronting the police, they were confronting that fucking perimeter, that wall. It was set up to produce all this. And it's just profoundly alarming. But there are a lot of good people around who are going to work on stopping this. But we're not confronting police, or at least I hope it doesn't come to that, because that's an inconsequential part of it. That's just misdirected energy. And I think very, very few, of course, I mean, that was the consensus, really ever did get involved in that. The wall, the fence, yeah. And I mean, symbolically, that was really what we came here to do, to say this is horse shit. This fence is just a profound insult to the people of the country.